Good evening, angels. Where are you? Are you with us? We're in the sunshine after rain little vineyard that you're getting used to coming to visit. So each month we come up here and just take a look at what's happening. Hi Gareth, Vivian, have you got the sweets? Julie, good to see you. Robic, Max Miller, great to see you all. So I know, oh Karen, you're here. You could hear me going, where are you? Where are you? So it's Friday evening and oh Beth, great to see you. Tim Taylor as well. So we're all getting excited about the football. Who's going to win? Who do you think is going to win the football tonight? What is the score going to be? We're watching rugby. But I was drinking Macabeu. Oh, Macabeu. Probably from that little vineyard over there. And look, I've got Jean-Marc with me as well in the vineyard. So, wow, thanks Vivian. Look at all those chocolates. Donuts, chocolates. Well, you can tell it's Friday night. Right, let me just put down my bottle of wine. We're going to have a lovely sip of rosé in a minute. And then I'm going to just walk down and see what Jean-Marc's actually doing. He seems to be hand pruning the vines. On arrive, Jean-Marc. So how's have you got any scores for who do we think is going to win this evening? So, hope there's some goals tonight, yeah. Oh, England, one there. Vermentino, you've got the Vermentino. Is that my Vermentino, Tim, that you've got? Great. Oops, almost fell over. Right, that's before I've had my glass of rosé. Just look at these wonderful vines. Just look at the shape of the vine. So just checking that you've got a nice clear picture. Sometimes the signal's not that good in this vineyard. Sounds like, are you enjoying the Vermentino? What I think about the Vermentino, we're just going to catch up with Jean-Marc. The Vermentino, a brand new wine from me in the Petit Train series. And this is where I get on the little train and I go and search out some little gems from the Languedoc. Things that we can't particularly make up here. Oh great Karen, it's clear. Things we can't make in Touchon because my vines are like this. In Touchon they're old, the yields are really low, and sometimes in the summer we just fancy a really nice, light, easy drinking style of wine. And that's exactly what the Vermentino is. So the Vermentino, just light, really summery. Ça t'a plu le Vermentino? Yeah, got the thumbs up from Jean-Marc. And there's a competition going on. All you have to do on Naked's Insta page or on their Facebook page is just put who you would share the Vermentino with. You don't even have to say why, just who. And you go into a draw and you could win a case of 6. So don't forget to. Right. Oh, look at this one. Look at this. It's a monster. It's as tall as I am. And the grapes. Right, let's catch up with the expert. Bonjour Jean-Marc, tu travailles?
No, I wait.
You're waiting for me? Oh, okay. And the angels. I think there's quite a few angels here, so it's great. Right, so what are you, you're busy, like here there's some leaves on the floor. So,
un peu d'ébourgeonnage.
It's called débourgeonnage or ébourgeonnage. So ébourgeonnage, and it's basically thinning out the vines. Just, et pourquoi tu fais ça?
En fait, pour laisser uniquement les sarments qui ont une utilité pour les raisins et pas avoir de la végétation qui ne sert à rien.
So basically, so that we can leave just the shoots that have a purpose for the grapes. So all this vine should be concentrating on now is getting all the goodness into the grapes and ripening the grapes, growing the grapes and getting them bigger and then ripening them. And so any excess leaves that there are, then the plant would be really sort of wasting its energy on those leaves. So Jean-Marc literally has just taken these off. Perhaps we can see you. Tu vas faire un autre, hein? On peut voir. Remember, if you've got any questions. So this, I like this. This is like the bottom, the foot leaves on the feet. So a little pedicure there for the little vine. And then just really, how do you know which, right, just so, does it say quickly?
L'année dernière, lorsqu'on a taillé, en fait on a taillé sur ce courson-là.
So last year when we pruned where Jean-Marc's thumb is, so that's last year's pruning.
Et en fait, les sarments où il y a les raisins sont sur le bois de l'année dernière.
And the shoots that have grapes on always come out from last year's pruned, I think it's called a spur. So they always come out of there. So you want to keep these two because that's where the grapes are. You can see, if I come around here, we're moving on to another one. If I come around here, you can see there quite clearly, that's the spur that was, or the branch that was cut, the shoot that was cut last year, pruned right back to here. And from that, on either side, you've got the shoots, and those shoots have got the developing grapes on. Baby grapes, I know they look like peas. On dirait des petits pois.
Par exemple, sur des vieilles vignes, il y a, voilà, sur le bois, il n'y a pas de raisin. Parce que cette année, se repose. Là, sur ce bois, il n'y a pas de raisin.
Oh, so here's the same thing. Let me just show it. So here's the same thing. We've got the pruned shoot from last year, and then we've got the two new shoots here. So you would expect these two shoots to have grapes on, but Jean-Marc says it's just having a rest.
Sur les vieilles vignes, ouais, c'est pas régulier.
So it's having a rest because there's no. Oh, look, here's some grapes. Look. That is the only bunch of grapes here. Can you see that? The tiny bunch of grapes on these shoots. So shall we take these off then? Shall I take this off?
No.
No.
Faut les laisser pour l'année prochaine.
Oh, that was close. So we need that for next year.
Non, et là, on va, mettons, là, ici, il y a
But
des
here,
raisins.
look, here we are. So here's the same thing down here. So you've got the shoot that we pruned, and then you've got the two new shoots coming up here. And here you've got lovely bunches. They're quite big bunches, not bad, are they?
Et là, on va sortir les petits qui sont entre et qui ne servent à rien.
And so here we're taking off just the little leaves that really they're not doing anything at all.
En fait, de ce côté, c'est là où il y a le plus de grappes.
And there's more grapes on this side. So this vine this year has decided to put all of its grapes on one side.
Mais c'est joli.
You're happy with it?
Ouais, for the quality, it's not very big, but the quality is, I think, for the moment, is very nice.
So not big quantity at the moment. Well, we can tell now. Maintenant, on sait la quantité à peu près.
C'est normal.
Right. So a small quantity, which is normal with the old vines.
Yeah.
And if we go and have a look at the macabre, is it the same idea? So let's just move up here. I worry when the messages don't come up that the signal. Here's some wild boar damage, just scuffling around there. But if you just clap your hands, I can know if you're there. If you clap hands, that gets rid of the wild boar if they're actually here, up here. I can see some little hearts. So I think you're still with us.
Lundi, on a la pelle qui vient pour débroussailler.
Pour faire
pour la clôture.
So nobody mentioned, I didn't like to say it when we did our Zoom tasting, nobody mentioned that we haven't got the wild boar fence up yet. I didn't mention it. I keep freezing. Okay, let me go up here. It might be better. En fait, ça bloque. Me come here. If not, if I keep freezing, don't worry because I'll keep filming because it's really clear here and I'm going to put it up on the Sunshine After Rain group afterwards. So you'll get all of this. Just don't worry about it if it does keep freezing. I'll keep going and then you can watch it on sort of playback. So look at these. So here, now we're in the macabre. So if you remember, this little tiny vineyard has got 3 different grape varieties, mainly macabre, the Carignan, where we were over there, and some Grenache. But look at this macabre, they're massive.
C'est une grappe de macabre. Et en fait, cette année, on va le mélanger avec des raisins rouges pour faire la recette originelle du fitou.
Right, there's I can already see Karen. She's got a little heart because elle adore le macabre. So we'll be doing something a little bit different with the macabre. But look at these bunches, they're massive. Look. A little bit different with the macabre this year in the special project Sunshine After Rain. We're actually going to be putting it into with the red wine. So we're mixing white grapes with red grapes, macabre with Carignan. Look here. So I showed a quick slide of these. That's a bit old. Presentation the other day of these and of the flowering. But here you can actually see on this grape vine. Jean-Marc's off again. It's like I have to keep running behind him. It's so quick. Look. Here are the little flowers. So if I focus on there, it looks so good. I tell you, do you want to have a look at the view? Hopefully you can see it. If I move slowly, and macabre as well, you've got these little downy hairs on the back of the leaves. A bottle of macabre, I know. Well, this year, some of it is going to be mixed in. And Jean-Marc had something else to show us over here.
Oui, là on voit les... Il y a encore des...
Look at this, it's a monster. Mais ça pousse, la vigne c'est impressionnant. Oh.
Ouais.
So what are you tickling it? Tu chatouilles la vigne?
Ouais, c'est la fin.
Oh. So here, that's the end of flowering. Evening CBN, good to have you with us. So we're just looking at the end of flowering. So this is...
Ce sont les graines qui ne se sont pas fécondées.
So these are little grains that haven't been fertilised this year. Oh, what a shame. And these are actually... So a vine self-pollinates. So it doesn't need bees, it doesn't need insect or even the wind. It just all happens underneath a little hat on the top of each little flower. And you can see we're at the end. But if you've never seen... I know vigor. C'est impressionnant ces vignes, non? Quand il n'y a pas d'eau, que ça arrive.
Il faut espérer que ça va arriver jusqu'au vendange parce que.
Yeah. So I was saying it's pretty amazing. I mean, there's no water. We don't irrigate here at all. So it's literally just rain. We were meant to be having rain this week. Combien de millimètres on a eu cette semaine?
Rien.
And we basically had nothing. So it rained a little bit. 0.2 of a millimetre. That was the rainfall that we had. We're desperate for rain down here. So luckily these old vines are really adapted because their roots go a really long way down to get the water, and that's what makes these old vines so well adapted. Yeah, Vivian dit que c'est eux qui ont toute la pluie. Ils ont la pluie, hein?
On peut en envoyer un peu.
Can you blow it over here, Vivian, please? Everybody just send us rain. Rain dances, clouds.
Without ice.
With no ice. No, hail. Yeah, that's the big danger at the moment. There's been some quite violent storms in Limoux, I saw on them. Right. Some quite violent storms. So the big danger now is hail. Now we've got over the frosts. The next big danger is going to be hail. Il t'envoie plein de pluie. James, Tim, Vivian. Roger Allison in Berkshire has had 61 millimetres, like just recently, I think.
Just half.
Yeah, we had 0.5 millimetre. Karen hasn't had any rain up north. In Burton-on-Trent, James is about to tell me what he's had in Burton-on-Trent, which is near Ashby. So I don't know. Yeah, well, whoever's had rain, just please spare a thought for these little old vines that desperately need the rain, some water, even though it's sunshine after rain, rain after sunshine at the moment. Est-ce que tu as autre chose à nous montrer?
Le paysage.
The paysage, yeah. Let's have a look. Perhaps it's time for a drink.
Actuellement, on va dire que c'est plutôt bien.
Ça fait 24, il a eu 62 mm en 24 heures. So you're happy, it's looking good at the moment, but we're still a long way off. When will we pick these grapes then? Do you know?
Like, I don't know, like last year approximately, and for the white is more end of August and
end of August.
For the red, beginning of September.
Beginning of September.
Exactly, now it's too early for now.
Yeah, it's much too early to know at the moment if they're going to ripen. It depends on the weather, I suppose, between the sunshine and the rain. Somebody said they had to empty some of our raised pond because they're worried about the levels for the fish in London. Oh dear. Ils ont dû carrément enlever de l'eau ils avaient dans le jardin, c'est prendre, comment on dit, un petit flaque d'eau, pas un flaque, un lac, pas un lac, pas un flaque. Et qu'ils ont dû en fait enlever de l'eau parce qu'il pleuvait tellement, ils avaient peur que les poissons, ils allaient s'échapper.
Bah ici, il n'y en a pas de poissons, c'est tout sec.
Right, no, there's no fish here at all. Everything's just completely dry. What do you think about a glass of something pink?
C'est l'heure.
C'est l'heure, huh?
Yes.
I think I left it over there on the bench. So we'll just wander over here. Oh, that we've got one question. If you do have any questions that I can't pick up in the feed, then please put them in the question box. And as I said, if it is a bit on and off, it's the weather. I blame it on the weather. But when it gets cloudy like this, you can see you can't see it, but the wind is coming. You see the clouds are moving here, and the Mediterranean is just behind those cliffs over there. So the wind is coming sort of from Spain and off the Mediterranean, but it feels quite a clammy sort of damp wind coming here, and that can affect, so I go back to my point, that can affect the signal while we're there. But let's see, Jean-Marc is going for a drink, but just can't stop. This is typical Jean-Marc in the vineyard. Pruning, cleaning. Let me have a look at the question then while we're here. So thanks very much, Karen, for this question. The question is, how many bunches of grapes are needed for a bottle? Combien de grappes Combien de grappes il faut pour faire une bouteille? And that's just when you say grappe in French, it's actually a bunch of grapes. It's not a grape. So when you go grappe, it's a bunch of grapes, and a single grape is un grain de raisin.
Il y a des hétérogénéités très importantes sur la taille des grappes.
Ouais.
Donc, par exemple, sur des macabeux.
Depends how big your bunches are, Karen.
Par exemple, sur des macabeux, on peut avoir dans certaines conditions, ce ne sera pas ici, mais on peut avoir des grappes qui font plus d'1 kilo.
So sometimes you can get bunches of grapes on the macabeux in particular that weigh more than a kilo. And a kilo, that makes a bottle of wine? Oh.
Voilà, si on fait 1 kilo, c'est à peu près une bouteille de vin.
So approximately 1 kilo of grapes approximately makes 1 bottle of wine. And on a macabeux, not here because they're really old vines, but you can get bunches, just the bunch weighs a bottle. Weighs a kilo, so it makes a bottle.
On pourrait avoir, mais bon, ce ne sera pas le cas ici.
Ouais.
Et ici, souvent, sur des Carignans ou Grenaches, on a des grappes qui font entre 100 et 200 grammes.
So our bunches are between 100 and 200 grams.
Donc ça fait à peu près 8 ou 10 grappes pour faire une bouteille.
So 8 or 10 bunches to make a bottle. So approximately 1 vine.
Parce qu'il y a la rafle qui est plus importante, donc une fois qu'on a sorti la rafle, qu'on a tout, il faut à peu près...
But we have to destalk it, so we have to and we get more stalks and pips in there because the grapes are small, because there's no rain, they're old vines, so the grapes are actually smaller than a younger.
Je n'ai jamais compté, mais on peut dire en moyenne environ 8.
8. So we think approximately, Karen, 8 bunches to make a bottle of wine. Tim says, how deep is the moisture, and as old vines, how deep approximately do the roots grow? So he says, à combien il faut aller pour chercher l'humidité dans le sol, et les racines des vieilles vignes peuvent aller jusqu'à combien de mètres?
La réponse, ça va être un peu pareil que les grappes. On a identifié plus d'une vingtaine de sols différents.
So in the area, like just in Touchon, basically, they classified 20 different soil types.
Et donc ces sols ont des profondeurs différentes. Certaines fois, on a des sols qui sont relativement profonds, et d'autres qui sont à 50 cm.
So, and the different soils have different depths of soil. So some of them are quite shallow, some of them are deeper.
Donc on peut retrouver des
Before you get to the rock, avant
d'être sur la
rocher.
roche. Donc on peut avoir certains pieds de vigne qui n'ont que 40 ou 50 cm de racines et d'autres qui vont avoir jusqu'à 4 ou 5 mètres de profondeur. Mais
selon la profondeur du sol.
La profondeur du sol. Et
d'accord.
le type de sol, parce qu'il y a des sols, mettons, dans les cailloux comme là, où si ça trouve des failles, ça peut descendre
parce que ça peut aller
à plusieurs
très
mètres.
Oui, ça peut, si c'est le bon sol, ça peut aller très profond. 5 mètres.
Et ces cailloux, sur les cailloux comme ça aime aller chercher un peu de fraîcheur sous les cailloux.
Yeah, so in these soils here, if I just turn around slowly, I don't want to get too... So here, like Jean-Marc's now showing you the stones. So what he was saying, Tim, to answer your question, is it depends on how much soil there is and if the roots can actually get through. So old vine roots would go, say, they could go 4 or 5 meters, perhaps even further, but it depends on the structure of the soil. So if you have, when we say soil here, we're not talking that rich, black, dark sort of peaty earth that you have at my parents in Leicestershire. We're talking, this is soil, like, can you see that over there, the pile of stones? That is soil. So anything, if the roots can get through that, then they will carry on going down to get the moisture which is below. Sometimes we only have soils at about 20 centimeters before it hits rock, so, and then the roots can't get through that hard rock. But interesting, up here in this particular vineyard, you can see the pile of stones in the distance, the big pile of stones in the distance, but what they're from the vineyard, they've been taken out of this vineyard by hand. And in the soil there's so many stones, but the roots, they like to sort of go around these stones in the soil, and they look for the freshness or the damp underneath the stones.
La plupart du temps, sur nos sols, on a des racines entre 1 et 2 mètres. La plupart du temps.
Okay, so...
Dans ce type de sol.
Yeah, depending on the soil type that we have, so Jean-Marc says probably about 1 to 2 meters because of the soil type. But old vines, they could go deeper. If they can get through the rock, then they can go a bit deeper.
Pour que les racines descendent, il faut qu'elles aient à manger aussi.
Right, because to get through there, they have to have lots to eat. They have to have nutrients to be able to get it. And here, our soils, I'm trying to show people the soil, because when I say soil, people probably imagine, you know, like the soil in my parents' garden. It's not quite like that, is it? We'll just show it, and then I'm really thirsty now. Jean-Marc, what time is it? How are we getting on for the football? We've still got a while to go. So this is the soil. When we say soil, we can see it. Ça c'est un sanglier, non?
Oui.
So here we can see this has been nicely turfed up by a wild boar, but this is soil. When we say soil, this is soil. And it's, what's the percentage of actual humus? Comment on dit? C'est le pourcentage entre les cailloux et la terre.
Là, quand on sort les cailloux, on a moins de 50% de terre utilisable par la vigne.
So once you've taken these stones out, you have less than 50% of soil that can actually be used to get nutrients out by the vine. Look, there's just nothing. It's like sand. Well, it's like orange sand. Gravel bed, it is, but it's like that everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Okay, what do you think about a glass of rosé then?
Second time.
Second time, yeah. Let's see if we can get to the bench and have a glass of rosé. So, just want to see how far he gets without. Oh, and there's some more questions. Oh. No, Karen, no, I'll tell you about the puppy later, but there isn't. And here's a question from Dominique. Have you started to think about what the label might look like for this special wine? I'm a sucker for a pretty label. That's a really good question. What do you think, Angels? So the wine is called Sunshine After Rain. Et puis il y a Dominique qui demande, et pour l'étiquette, ça va être comment? So this is where I need your inspiration, Angels. So
Toi la spécialiste.
it's not Jean-Marc's department here, but I think I'll put this in the group. So we have a Sunshine After Rain group. But have any of you got ideas how you envisage the label for Sunshine After Rain? Should it be modern, traditional? We are using, it's a red wine, and we're using the traditional recipe from Fitu from 1948. But, somebody's just ordered the rosé. Thanks, Selby Dog. So, a rainbow, people, there's lots of rainbows. It needs a rainbow. That's 3-4 people who've said. So, Dominique, I think, the rainbow might be on there. Qu'il faut un arc-en-ciel. So if arc-en-ciel, somebody puts it for you in French, so you knew. Quelqu'un te l'a mis en français. Arc-en-ciel. Yeah, lots of rainbows. So I think we need to, I fancy something quite sort of abstract. Don't know, Jean-Marc doesn't know. Right, let's get a glass of rosé. If we have a glass of rosé, our imagination will probably flow a bit more. But a rainbow and umbrella, rain cloud, sun and rainbow between, really good idea. So really playing on the sunshine after rain, which would make sense idea. Dominique, have you got any ideas on what you think? A pretty label. So Dominique thinks a nice pretty label would be good. I'm definitely one for a pretty label. Looks like some of you have been ordering the rosé, so we're just going to pour ourselves a glass of rosé. And I'll just show you the view. It's much cooler here now. Il fait combien tu penses le degré maintenant? 20? It's probably about 20. But last weekend it got up to 40. A rainbow over a bunch of grapes. An arc-en-ciel. Oh, this is going to help. Cheers. An arc-en-ciel. Some wine over the rainbow. Un arc-en-ciel, avec des raisins. Dominique likes the idea of an abstract label, black and white landscape, noir et blanc, avec l'arc-en-ciel en couleur, glass, bottle pouring out a rainbow. Ah oui, en fait, quelqu'un dit que tu as le verre et puis la bouteille qui verse un... that's a lovely idea, qui verse un arc-en-ciel pour remplir le verre. C'est joli ça. Yeah. It's romantic. Sally, right, cheers everybody. So just a quick, you've probably got wind interference on here now. Let me stand back a bit, get into, this is where the wild boar live, in here. Rainbow, bright sun, deep red ground below. Yeah. So if we do more of these, hopefully it's going to inspire you more as well as the season goes on. Right, so how's it going down? Cheers again. I haven't had any yet.
I don't speak, I can drink.
Well, you speak and I'm going to drink.
What?
No, you speak and I'm going to drink.
Just waiting.
Just waiting. Oh, it's lovely. It's really... Super. Could you just hold that? I'm just going to put the headphones back in because sometimes we get... Yeah, cheers everybody. Tout le monde dit santé. Sometimes we get some wind sort of... Non mais sur le micro. C'est pas toi, c'est sur le micro. So just hold on 2 seconds. Can he sing a rainbow? I can't.
No, Katie sing very well.
I just get you back here. He says I sing really well, but I don't. He's never. Have you ever heard me sing?
Never.
He's never heard me sing ever. I just can't sing. Ooh, Kaz's got the lagar fitu, drinking lagar fitu. So here's cheers to everybody. Yep. So let's have. What does it taste of? Did you? Le goût c'est.
Pour moi, c'est floral.
So floral, really floral. It's got a lovely, almost sweet nose on it. Lovely floral petals. Turkish delight, it always makes me think of. Roses, rose petals.
Mais en même temps, c'est frais.
And then, everybody's singing for us. Oh, everyone can sing. I thought you meant everybody can sing instead of me. Viviane dit qu'en fait, tout le monde peut chanter.
Quand ils viendront nous voir, tu vas leur chanter.
Yeah, so Jean-Marc says, when you come and see us, I will sing a song. Karen sings, well. Remember she sang us those songs for your birthday.
Right.
Yeah. And in the mouth, so it's lovely, it's fresh, it's floral still, but there's a lovely freshness to it. It's completely dry. So it means that it's lovely, it's more refreshing, plus it will go with food much better than if you have sweetness in a rosé. Some people do prefer a sweet rosé, and here's a little tip which as a winemaker I'm probably not meant to tell you, and Jean-Marc's going to. I've got two little tips for you. This is why I wasn't on the rosé expert Thirsty Tuesday the other day. For the rosé, two little tips. If you think it's too dry, you can always add a little bit of sugar into the wine. You can, can't you? That's
Yes,
yeah.
it's easy.
And so if you think it's just a little bit too dry for you, you want to take that edge off any wine. It's too dry.
Easier to put than to take out.
Yeah, exactly. You can just add a little sprinkling of silver spoon sugar in there. I love a dry rosé too. We don't want to do it. Normally, the winemaker has made it like they would like it to be drunk, of course. The other thing I do to it is I put it through the soda stream, but I'm not meant to say that either. And then you get a lovely sort of frizzante, pétillant rosé. Has anybody tried that? Yeah, how come we've got black clouds? Everybody's going, no! Et quelqu'un demande pourquoi on a les nuages grises, noirs. Well, we're hoping it's rain clouds.
En fait, le vent vient de la mer, là ça monte d'Espagne, mais il ne pleut pas.
Sorry, just taking a sip. It's basically rain clouds, and we are so happy to have these potential rain clouds here. That we would really like them to actually rain rather than just sort of fly over the top of us. Somebody said qu'ils avaient mis le rosé dans le soda stream et qu'en fait il a explosé le soda stream. Il y avait du vin partout. Yes. Perhaps the soda stream, not a good idea.
Faut faire plusieurs essais.
Yeah, you have to do a couple of trials. The winemaker knows best, sometimes. Oh, Vivian put Blue Nun in a soda stream. Don't know I'd do that. So, I think that's it. What do you think? I think it's Friday night. I think it's time. Are you a bit hungry?
Ouais, c'est bientôt l'heure du match.
It is. So Jean-Marc's saying it's almost time for the match, but he's not thinking football.
No.
Jean-Marc's thinking rugby because it's a semi-final of the Top 14, which is the national championship in France. And is your team playing tonight, Jean-Marc?
No, tomorrow.
So
Today is La Rochelle et Paris.
So it's La Rochelle against Paris, which apparently is more interesting than England versus Scotland in the football.
For me, yes.
For Jean-Marc. And then tomorrow it's Jean-Marc's team. It's Toulouse contre...
Toulouse, demain contre Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Toulouse, Bordeaux tomorrow. So I think it's time to finish off the rosé, go and have a gin and tonic, sit in front of the telly and watch the rugby. So thanks everybody. Bon rugby, ils te disent.
Bon
Lovely to see. I think that's Colin. Is that Christopher? I think that's Christopher who was going to tune in. Sounds great. Yeah, rugby, big names. It's the end of the championship in France almost. So it's a big night for Jean-Marc. Okay, we're signing off now. Thanks ever such a lot for joining us. Sorry that it was perhaps a little bit fuzzy because of these clouds. Blame it on the clouds and the weather. But have fun, everybody. Have a great evening. And I will put more posts up on the Sunshine After Rain. I can hear a motorbike. Sunshine After Rain group. And any comments, keep thinking about the labels as well. Perhaps we could have a competition. Perhaps have a competition for the label. Have a great weekend. Signing off now. Bye, everybody. Bon weekend.
Bon week-end à tous.